I should be known the moment I raised my hand for that $700 bid. The auctioneer paused just for a second too long. His gavel hovered mid-air. His eyes scanned the small crowd as if waiting for someone else to jump in. But nobody did. Just me. Sold. $700 to number 12. I gave a forced nod, masking the unease twisting in my stomach. I bought dozens of units before. Some big wins, some total duds. But something about this one felt off. The unit was in a nicer part of town, a wealthier neighborhood. That alone had me hopeful. Rich people sometimes abandon treasure without even realizing it. But this unit, it had no preview. No one was allowed to open the door. All we saw was one grainy photo of a rusted metal shelf, and some covered furniture. The auction site just said, contents unknown, potential antique value. That phrase, potential antique value, messed with my head. I was picturing vintage armoires, maybe some silverware, old vinyl records, something rare and dusty but worth thousands. I told myself this was the kind of unit YouTubers dream of. I even brought my camera guy along. Big mistake. Opening the unit was like opening a coffin. The second the rolling door screeched upward, a thick wave of mildew slapped us in the face. My eyes watered. The air was humid and heavy, and that old, wet smell made my stomach turn. Inside, everything was brown, beige, faded. Broken dressers leaned against each other like drunks. A moth-eaten couch was crushed under a pile of crumbling cardboard boxes. A large, antique-looking cabinet sat in the back, tilted, chipped, and missing two legs. And that was it. No safe, no paintings, no jewelry, just warped wood, mold, and old junk. I tried to laugh it off for the camera. Well, you win some, you lose some, I said, like a clown covering a bruise with makeup. But inside, I was already calculating the loss. The deeper I went, the worse it got. One of the boxes collapsed when I touched it, spilling out dozens of water-damaged books. All romance novels, all from the 80s, all completely unsellable. Another box had hundreds of plastic forks and napkins, party leftovers. In a side drawer, I found what looked like a bundle of wrapped silverware, but no, just cheap utensils, sticky with old food residue. One still had peanut butter on it. My hands were filthy. My knees ached from crouching on the concrete. Sweat dripped down my back. Every breath I took tasted like rot. It wasn't just a bad unit. It was the worst I'd ever bought. And then came the moment that broke me. At the very back of the unit, underneath a moldy mattress, was a sealed plastic bin. I perked up. Sealed bins can mean something. Sometimes it's a person's valuables. The save this stuff. My hands trembled as I cracked it open. Inside, old Christmas decorations, faded tinsel, broken snow globes, a Santa hat with a coffee stain. On top of the pile was a crumpled family photo. A mom, a dad, two kids, smiling in matching pajamas in front of a Christmas tree. Something about it just hit me in the chest. They had a life, a family, and now all that remained was a moldy photo, in a forgotten locker, and me, a stranger, standing in their past. I turned off the camera. That night, I couldn't sleep. Not because of the $700 loss. I've lost more than that on bad units before. It was the feeling that I'd intruded. We're always chasing the treasure, the big flip, the rare collectible, the unbelievable find. But sometimes what we find is just heartbreak, decay, abandonment. And sometimes, that stings more than the money. I tried to salvage what I could. I listed the bookshelf for $10. No one bought it. I gave away the couch for free. The guy came, took one look, and left. I posted the books in a free Facebook group. Not even a reply. In the end, I paid $180 more just to dump the contents at a local landfill. They charged extra because some of it was biohazard level nasty. All in, I lost nearly $900, and all I got in return was a reminder that not every storage unit holds a story worth telling. But I'm telling it anyway. Because here's the truth. This business isn't just about the wins. It's about the risk. Every unit is a gamble. Every roll of the door could mean glory or garbage. And if you only chase the highs, you'll burn out fast. That $700 unit, it was a disaster. But it was real. And sometimes, real is what people need to see. So yeah, I paid $700 for a storage unit. And it sucked. But tomorrow, I'm going to bid again. Because one day, the roll of that door won't bring mold and misery. It'll bring magic. And when it does, you'll be the first to know. Smash that like button if you've ever taken a loss you'll never forget, and subscribe if you want to see what happens next. Because around here, every unit tells a story, even the bad ones. The next morning, I was back in my garage, staring at the remains from the unit. I couldn't stop thinking about that photo. The family, their faces were still fresh in my mind. I'd seen hundreds of old photos over the years, but this one stuck. Maybe because it reminded me why I started this, in the first place. When I bought my first storage unit years ago, I wasn't looking for gold or antiques. I was looking for stories, for forgotten pieces of real people's lives, for a glimpse into something authentic, something raw. But now, I was chasing viral hits, thumbnail gold, titles that made people click. I'd lost the plot. I thought about quitting. I really did. Not forever, but for a while, just to regroup, reset. The burnout was creeping in, the constant filming, editing, posting, the pressure to top the last video, the obsession with views and watch time. And now, this $700 failure had drained what little fuel I had left. But then, something strange happened. I uploaded the video anyway. Rare, honest, no cuts. Just me, walking through the moldy mess, reacting in real time. No fake excitement, no dramatic music, no clickbait energy. I just showed the truth, and people loved it. Comments flooded in. This is the most real video I've seen in a while. I appreciate you showing the bad side of this business. You made me cry with that photo, man. Thank you. I wasn't expecting that. I thought people only wanted crazy finds, Rolexes in old boxes, cash hidden in walls, rare baseball cards behind tickets. But it turns out some of them wanted reality, too. So I did something I hadn't done in a long time. I replied to every single comment. Took me 3 hours. And with each one, I felt the weight lifting. Like maybe I hadn't wasted my time. Maybe the disaster had a purpose. Maybe it wasn't a disaster after all. A few days later, I got a message. It was from a woman named Linda. She said the family in the photo looked just like hers. She asked where I found it. I double-checked the image. It wasn't signed, no names, no addresses. I messaged back, and we talked. Long story short, it was her family. That unit had belonged to her parents, who'd passed away a few years back. The facility had sold it off after unpaid fees. She thought everything was lost forever. I mailed the photo to her, along with the Santa hat and snow globe. She sent me back a letter, a real one, handwritten. She said, "You have no idea what this means to me. That photo was the last Christmas we spent together before my dad got sick. I can't thank you enough." And just like that, the $700 didn't feel like a loss anymore. So here's the truth I wish someone had told me sooner. Not every win comes with a price tag. Sometimes, the real treasure isn't something you can sell. It's a moment, a memory, a connection. It's a photo in a plastic bin, a letter from a stranger, a comment that says, "You helped me today." It's knowing that you're not just digging through junk. You're brushing off the dust from something human. Now don't get me wrong. I still want the epic finds. I still get butterflies when a unit looks just right. But I'm no longer afraid of the bad ones. Because the bad ones teach you what kind of person you are. Do you quit when the camera is off? Do you throw away what you don't understand? Or do you keep showing up, dirty hands, bruised knees, empty wallet, hoping the next one will tell you a different kind of story? I'm still here. Still bidding. Still filming. Still chasing. Not just the views, but the meaning. And if you're watching this, maybe you're chasing something too. Maybe you're here because you've lost something, or because you're looking for a sign, or because, like me, you just needed to know that some things, some stories, are worth the dust. Thanks for being here. Thanks for staying through the disasters. I'll see you in the next one. And who knows, maybe that one will be the big one.